You've had your dog for years. You've shared thousands of meals, walked 10,000 miles together, and you likely think you know every single tell they have. You think you know what that tilt of the head means, or why they bark at the mailman. But what if I told you that right now, in this very moment, your dog is sending out a constant, desperate stream of data that you are completely blind to? What if I told you that there is a silent language, a code of survival and soul-deep connection that your dog has been using to talk to you? But you've been unintentionally hanging up the phone every single time they call? The reality is heartbreaking. Most owners spend a lifetime with a dog they love, yet they never truly meet that dog on a psychological level. They live in the same house, but they speak two different languages that never quite overlap. And the longer you go without learning this code, the wider that invisible gap becomes. Your dog starts to feel a quiet, heavy frustration. They stop trying to reach you. They settle into a life of being taken care of instead of being truly understood. And for a creature that lives only to be your partner, that is the ultimate tragedy. But it doesn't have to stay that way. Today we are going to tear down that wall. We aren't just talking about tips. We are talking about a fundamental shift in how your brain perceives your dog's brain. By the time we reach the final point of this list, you are going to see a version of your dog that you didn't even know existed. You're going to look at them tonight, and for the first time, you're going to realize they've been waiting for you to catch up. Welcome to my channel. If you're ready to stop being just a dog owner and start being a true partner, hit subscribe right now. We do this every week because your dog deserves a human who speaks their language. Now let's get into it. Pay close attention, because every point here is a layer of a foundation that most people never even start to build. Let's start with something you do every single day. Think about the last time you walked through the door and saw your dog. What was the first thing you did? You reached out, you probably smiled, and you patted them right on top of the head. It's the most human gesture in the world. It's how we show affection to children. It's how we congratulate a teammate. It feels like love to us. But to a dog? For a vast majority of the canine population, a hand coming down from above and landing on the crown of the head is something they simply tolerate. And in the world of deep bonding, tolerating is the enemy of loving. When you pet a dog on the head, you are triggering an ancient primal reflex. Their eyes might squint, their head might dip slightly, and they might stand still. Owners see this and think, oh, they love it. But look closer. Are they leaning into your hand? Or are they bracing for the contact? The science behind this is fascinating and often ignored. A dog's skull is one of their most vulnerable areas from an evolutionary standpoint. When a large, upright primate brings a hand down over their eyes, it momentarily blocks their peripheral vision. This creates a microscopic spike in cortisol, the stress hormone. Even if they trust you 100%, their biology is whispering, caution. Now compare that to what happens when you touch the connection zones. Science tells us that dogs have specific clusters of nerves, particularly around the chest, the base of the ears, and the sides of the neck, that are directly wired to the parasympathetic nervous system. A study published in the journal Physiology and Behavior monitored the heart rates of dogs during various types of human interaction. When the humans petted the dogs on the head, the heart rates remained baseline or slightly elevated. But when the touch shifted to the chest and the base of the neck, using slow, circular, intentional pressure, the heart rates dropped significantly. The dogs didn't just stand there, they physically melted. This is the oxytocin loop. When you hit those specific nerve clusters with the right pressure, your dog's brain releases a flood of oxytocin, the cuddle hormone. This isn't just feeling good. This is a biological bonding event that mirrors the bond between a mother and her pup. Tonight, I want you to try a connection audit. Sit on the floor. Don't reach for their head. Instead, reach for the front of their chest, right below the collarbone. Use your fingertips to make slow, heavy circles. Watch their eyes. If they go soft, if the jaw hangs loose, if they lean their weight into your hand, congratulations. You've just moved past tolerating and into soul-level connection. You've stopped being a person who just touches their dog, and you've become the person who helps their dog find peace. Now, let's talk about your daily walk. For most of us, the walk is a chore to be checked off a list. We have 20 minutes before a meeting, or the sun is going down, and we just want the dog to do their business. We walk at a human pace, on a human schedule, toward a human destination. And every time your dog stops to sniff a patch of grass, what do? You give the leash a little tug. You say, "Come on, let's go." You think you're keeping them on track. But what you're actually doing is equivalent to a blindfold. We live in a world of sight, but your dog lives in a world of scent. Their reality is built on a layer of information. While you have 6 million olfactory receptors, your dog has up to 300 million. Their scent brain is 40 times larger than yours. To a dog, a single sniff isn't just a smell, it's a story. They know who was there, what they ate, and how they felt. When you drag them away, you cause sensory deprivation. Research shows dogs allowed to sniff more are significantly more optimistic. The problem is, we confuse physical exercise with mental fulfillment. A 5-mile walk can leave a dog physically tired, but mentally wired. They didn't get their data download for the day. Their brain is still hungry. Here is the secret: the decompression walk. Once or twice a week, let your dog be the leader. Put them on a long, fixed lead, and let them choose the path. If they want to sniff a clump of dirt, let them. Don't check your phone. Just watch them. Watch the way their nostrils quiver as they process the scentscape. 15 minutes of sniffing is more exhausting than an hour of mindless walking. When they get home, they settle with deep contentment. You've stopped being the person who limits their world, and you've become the person who facilitates their discovery of it. We've talked about touch, and we've talked about the nose. But now I want to talk about something that happens every single time you open your mouth. Have you ever noticed that there are days when you call your dog and they sprint toward you like their life depends on it? And other days where they look at you, blink, and then go right back to licking their paw? Most owners call this stubbornness. They think their dog is being difficult or disobedient. But the science of the canine brain tells a much more complex and much more beautiful story. In a landmark study at Utrecht University, researchers put dogs into MRI machines to watch how their brains reacted to human speech. What they discovered changed everything. It turns out that dogs aren't just listening to the sound of your voice. They are performing a high-speed cross-analysis. Their left hemisphere is decoding the actual words, the vocabulary you've taught them. But their right hemisphere is simultaneously decoding your intonation, the emotional truth. Here is the heartbreaking part. The study found that a dog's reward center only truly lights up when the words and the tone match. If you say "good boy" in a flat, distracted voice while thinking about your taxes, your dog's brain registers a mismatch. To them, it feels like someone telling you "I love you" while looking at their watch. It lacks resonance. It lacks truth. And the more often you give these hollow signals, the more your dog starts to tune out your frequency. They stop looking for the connection. Think about the vocal signature you have. Most people use a command voice, sharp, loud, and demanding. Sit, stay, come. This is the language of a boss. But your dog doesn't want a boss. They want a partner. Studies show dogs prefer high-pitched, rhythmic speech, what we call baby talk, because it mirrors the solicitation, barks, and play bows they use. Tonight I want you to try the 3-word anchor. Pick 3 words that are strictly for connection, not commands. Use these words only when you are looking them in the eye, fully present, with 0 distractions. You are building a sacred frequency. Over time, that specific sound will become an instant stress reliever for your dog. A vocal bridge that says, "In a world of noise, you are loved. Let's look at the bowl. That dish sitting on your floor. To you, it's a tool for nutrition. To your dog, it is the symbol of a lost purpose. For thousands of years, we bred them to be our eyes, our ears, and our hands. They retrieved birds, herded sheep, and tracked scents. They are biological machines designed for problem solving. When we feed them in 30 seconds, we are benching them like a world-class athlete. This leads to leisure-induced anxiety. A dog with nothing to do will find something to do, usually barking, chewing, or licking. There is a concept called contra-freeloading. Most animals, including dogs, actually prefer to work for their food rather than have it for free. The act of foraging releases dopamine in the brain. It triggers the seeking system, the part of the brain that feels a rush of accomplishment. You stop being the vending machine and start being the hunt leader. Take a muffin tin, put kibble in the holes, and put tennis balls on top. Scatter their food in the grass and let them use that 300 million receptor nose to earn every bite. A dog that works for their food doesn't just have a full stomach, they have a quiet mind. They look at you with shared victory. Now, we come to the final point. The highest level of trust isn't found in action. It's found in proximity without pressure. In the wild, a pack spends the vast majority of their time simply existing together. This is called social buffering. But we are constantly inputting data. We are always on. And because we are always on, our dogs feel they have to be on too. Turn off the TV. Put your phone in another room. Sit on the floor. Don't call your dog. Don't look at them. Just sit. Your dog will realize that for the first time, you aren't asking for anything. You are just a fellow living being sharing space. Within 5 minutes, they will come over and simply lie down. This is secure attachment in its purest form. You are building a foundation of trust deeper than any command. You are finally meeting them halfway, in the quiet space. Your dog has been waiting for this since the day they met you. You have the keys to their heart. If this journey resonated with you, please share it. Hit subscribe for more insights into the hidden world of your best friend. Until next time, listen to what they aren't saying. They're worth it.